Hello, teachers. This is Miss Watts, your favorite educator. Now, let's get down to talking about the first weeks of school. Yes, the first weeks of school are so important. How do we know that? Well, that's the time we set expectations. You may not think that it's that serious, but it is. As the students enter the classroom, organization is very important. Having an idea where they're going to sit, having a system for how they get new pencils, having a space for writing paper, those little nuances can make or break your system throughout the day. And when one child doesn't understand it, other children don't, they follow their lead. If it's random and there's no organization, someone might pop up, go get a pencil, sharpen it without directions, interrupt instruction. So you want to set the routines and you want them to be consistent every single day. Now, some people may think I'm a little erratic. Well, when one of my students gets up and sharpens a pencil, I make a big deal about how I don't like that. Because if he gets up, sharpens a pencil in the middle of the day, he's not following the customs that I've set and the routines that I've set in the classroom. So I remind them. If something is a major violation, your kids need to know that. They need to trust that because it sets expectations and it creates boundaries. And once you are giving them those messages, guess what? They are going to obey them. Now, if your expectations are loose, confusing, non-existent, they're going to create their own rituals and routines, and it may be chaotic. There are overt and subtle ways of communicating. Overt is through your words, using your words and rules and affirmations and telling them what you want them to do, showing them what you want them to do. Subtle cues of telling them that they can get away with certain things is when you don't enforce it on a consistent basis. You may feel like it's not that deep, but it is. When one person pops up and another person pops up and they don't understand what the expectation is, they are setting the tone for the classroom and they're taking the power away from you. Children have to respect you before they can love you or receive the love you have to give. But we are not their immediate caretakers. And even immediate caretakers have to have boundaries. I'm a parent. I know. I'm thinking, I have a 2-year-old. She's not going to love me. She's not going to think I love her. No, she needs boundaries. I don't always like it when she's crawling all over me. So guess what? I let her know that's not okay. And you have to do your children the same way. You have to be direct. You have to show that you do not play with them when it comes to understanding the rules. Now, I've been doing this for quite some time. You might still be developing your muscle, but guess what? When you have a student or a few students or maybe an entire class that challenges you on a regular basis, you are automatically going to build that resilience and the firmness that you need in order to set the right expectations every single year. I'm very intense when it comes to dealing with behaviors because I have had to do that quite a bit in some schools that I frequented as an early educator. So I automatically built an armor around my expectations. And as I began to visit other schools or go to other schools for training and also coming to McClendon, I learned how to make sure that instruction is seamless. Children do not get confused about where the materials are. They're open for them to see where they turn their work in. It's very strategic. I don't want a bunch of papers on my desk. And if they come to me, I immediately direct them to the rolling tray where they put their finished work. That's really important. You don't want kids popping up all the time. You do want to give them space to move around. You do want to give them the opportunity to be able to get their wiggles out, but that's should not be when they're turning in papers. Right. You want to teach them how to use their inside voice so that they can talk to their friends when it's appropriate, but it should not be heard in the hallway. Teach them how to behave when they go to the restroom. Use a restroom monitor. Teach your leaders how to watch for your line. Teach them how to stand in the line. This is one of the biggest things I wish teachers would adopt. We had a class creed, and with most of my classes, we have these class creeds. The most recent one was, we're the smartest class in the school. We can do anything we put our minds to. When we fall down, we get back up. We take education seriously because education is important. These words of affirmation, we can do anything we put our minds to, right? Great things come to those who work for them. That's important. Those are things you are using, tools, affirmations, to embed in them, to create value around education. It may not come from home. Parents, caregivers may be too busy to enforce that. But you want to indoctrinate your students with the proper way to treat school and teach them how education is a bridge to success. I hope this video helps you. I want you, after watching the video, to design a classroom management plan. What are you going to do when a student does not seem to do well in a certain group? Are you going to move them? Are you going to give them a warning? Are you going to conference with them? Let them eat lunch with you? Teach them the proper way? Have an SEL lesson with your class? Behavior has to be taught. It is developmental. These things are not going to be intrinsic for your students. So if you don't have a plan, they will create one. If you don't have a plan, just like you have to have lesson plans for your instruction, you have to have a plan for what behavior should look like on a consistent basis. They are going to forget. They are going to have to transfer what they do at home to school, and you're going to help them learn the difference. School has a structured environment because they are not the only child in the class. We show respect for our friends. Use books, use YouTube videos to remind them of how you want them to behave. Also, reward them when they do. That's really, really big. I'm not just a taskmaster. I give them opportunities to go on a nice game on a Friday. I give them opportunity to make something with the Play-Doh. I give them opportunities to draw, color, and write a story with their friends. You will find what your children like to do, and you ask them what their reward is going to be. When you see somebody misbehave, you can notice great behavior and reward that on the spot. That always works. It draws their attention. You want to reward the behavior you like to see, because that's what you're going to get more of when they see you rewarding positive behavior. You can do this. You've got this down pat, and I hope after taking this module, you've learned quite a lot. Leave me some feedback, send me an email, and guess what? Welcome to the new school year. I can't wait to see what your class is going to look like. Bye-bye.